Have you ever felt completely lost in the drama of your own life? One moment you're focused on your goals, your spiritual path, and the next, you're swept away by worries, desires, and attachments. It feels like you've lived a lifetime in just a few years, or even a few months. It's a feeling we all know. But what if I told you there's an ancient story that explains this phenomenon perfectly? A story about an illusion so powerful, it can make a single moment feel like a lifetime. Today we're diving deep into the concept of Maya, the cosmic illusion, through a profound tale featuring Lord Krishna. This isn't just a story, it's a mirror to our own lives. Stick with me, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see your reality forever. Imagine this. It's a peaceful morning. A sincere devotee, someone just like you or me, kneels before Lord Krishna. His heart is full of devotion, but also a deep, nagging confusion. He says, "My Lord, you speak so often of this thing called Maya, your divine illusion. You say it's so powerful that it can trap even the wisest souls in a web of worldly attachment. But honestly, I can't grasp it. It feels like an abstract idea. Could you, in your infinite mercy, please show me what Maya truly is? I want to understand how it works." Lord Krishna, with that all-knowing, gentle smile that can melt the universe, looks at his devotee with immense love. He doesn't launch into a long philosophical lecture. Instead, he says, "Of course, my dear one, I will show you. But first, could you do a small favor for me? I'm feeling a little thirsty. Please, go to the river just over there and fetch me a small pot of water." The devotee's heart soared with joy. A direct instruction from the Lord himself. What an honor. It was a simple task, but for him, it was a sacred duty. He felt a surge of purpose and happiness. "Yes, my lord, right away," he exclaimed. He grabbed an empty pot and practically skipped his way down the path towards the glistening river, his mind filled with the image of returning to Krishna with the water. The sun was warm, a gentle breeze was blowing. It was a perfect day. He was on a mission for God, and nothing could possibly go wrong. As he arrived at the riverbank, the water sparkling under the morning sun, his eyes fell upon a sight that stopped him in his tracks. There, by the water's edge, was a young woman. She was filling her own pot, her movements graceful and serene. But it wasn't just her grace that captivated him. Her presence was radiant. The story says her eyes were like lotus petals, and her smile was like the first light of dawn. As she looked up and their eyes met, something profound shifted inside him. A feeling he had never known before. A powerful magnetic pull stirred in the very core of his being. All thoughts of his task, of the water, of Krishna waiting for him, momentarily vanished. He was a devoted man, a renunciant, who had spent his life focused on the spiritual. But in that one glance, the world he knew tilted on its axis. Mustering his courage, he walked over and spoke to her. He probably asked a simple question, maybe about the river or the village nearby. And she, with that dawn-like smile, answered him. Her voice was as melodious as the river's flow. That first exchange, intended to be just a fleeting moment, was the first thread in a very large, very intricate tapestry. They talked, and the world around them seemed to fade away. That single moment of conversation stretched into hours. The sun arched across the sky, and still they talked. He forgot all about the pot in his hand, forgot about the thirsty Lord waiting for him. The hours turned into days. He found out where she lived, met her family. He was completely enchanted. He, the humble devotee, fell deeply in love, and she, in turn, fell in love with him. Soon, they decided to marry. He set aside his life of spiritual practice to build a new life with her. They built a small, happy home near that very same river. He learned to work the fields, to be a farmer, a husband. Life was no longer about meditation and scriptures. It was about planting seeds, harvesting crops, and sharing meals with the woman he adored. Before long, their home was filled with the laughter of children. He became a father. Years flowed by like the river next to their home. He experienced the full spectrum of human life, the profound joy of holding his first child, the deep sorrow of losing a parent, the daily struggles of providing for his family, and the simple priceless laughter shared around a fire at night. He aged. His hair turned gray, his back stooped from years of labor, but his heart was full. He had a wife, children, grandchildren. He had lived a complete, fulfilling life. He had completely and utterly forgotten his previous existence as a devotee. Krishna was a distant, faded memory, a character from a story he once knew. Then, one monsoon season, the heavens opened with a fury he had never seen. Rain lashed down for days, relentless and unforgiving. The gentle river, the source of their livelihood and their memories, began to swell. It turned into a raging, terrifying torrent. The waters rose, consuming the fields, the trees, and then their home. Panic set in. He grabbed his wife and children, trying to pull them towards higher ground, but the current was too powerful. It was a chaotic nightmare of roaring water and terrified screams. One by one, the merciless floodwaters snatched his family from him. His children, his wife, the center of his universe, were all swept away, lost to the churning brown chaos. He was left clinging to a piece of debris, utterly alone, his entire world destroyed in a matter of moments. The pain was unbearable, a physical agony that ripped through his soul. He fell to his knees on a small patch of land, the storm raging around him, and he screamed to the sky, a raw, primal cry of anguish. "Oh Lord, why this suffering? What have I done to deserve this?" And in that very instant, in the depths of his absolute despair, a voice cut through the noise of the storm. It was a voice he hadn't heard in decades, yet it was as clear and familiar as his own heartbeat. It was calm, gentle, and filled with compassion. The voice of Krishna. "My dear devotee," it said, "where is the water I asked you to bring?" Suddenly, the world dissolved. The raging flood, the devastation, the crushing grief, it all vanished. He found himself standing right back at the riverbank. The sun was still in the same position in the morning sky. The pot was still in his hand, empty. Not a single moment had passed. He was young again. The woman was nowhere to be seen. The family, the home, the decades of joy and sorrow. It had all been a powerful, vivid, and completely immersive illusion that had taken place in the blink of an eye. He stood there, trembling as the realization washed over him. The entire lifetime he had just lived, the love, the marriage, the children, the heartbreaking loss, it had all happened in the time it took to bend down and fill a pot with water. Tears streamed down his face, but these were not tears of grief. They were tears of profound, earth-shattering understanding. "My Lord," he stammered, his voice filled with awe. "Just a few seconds, and I lived an entire life? I forgot you completely." Krishna's form appeared before him, his smile as gentle as ever. "Such is my Maya," Krishna explained. "It is the energy that makes the temporary seem permanent, the fleeting seem eternal. It captures the soul and binds it to the illusions of this world, making you forget your true nature and your connection to me. You remain trapped in this cycle of pleasure and pain until, by my grace, you remember me again." The devotee finally understood. The entire world of attachments he had built, the world that felt so real and absolute, was as fleeting as a dream. He fell flat on the ground, prostrating himself before Krishna. His heart wasn't just devoted anymore. It was completely surrendered. The pride, the confusion, the attachments, all of it was washed away by the truth. "Now I understand, my Lord," he whispered, his face pressed to the earth. "Without you, nothing is real. You are the only truth." This story isn't just about a devotee from long ago. It's about us. How many times have we been sent on a simple mission, to be a good person, to find our purpose, to connect with the divine, only to get distracted by the river of life? We see something or someone that captivates us. We fall in love. We build a career. We chase money. We raise a family. These are beautiful things, but Maya's trick is that it makes us believe they are the only things. It makes us forget the one who sent us to the river in the first place. We live entire lifetimes of joy and sorrow, all within the span of a few moments in cosmic time. completely forgetting our true, eternal identity. But just like in the story, the moment we call out in sincere desperation, the moment we remember the source, the illusion can break. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of Maya. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into life's deepest questions. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What is the water you sometimes forget to fetch? Until next time, stay mindful.